So, story of what the Brisker Rav. It really has to do with Yaakov calling all his children and standing all in front of him in harmony. So one time the Brisker Rav they were making like a rabbinical convention. And he overheard the scheming and internal battles that are going on. This one against that one, that rabbi against the other one, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. So therefore he says his entourage, the Brisker Rav said, I always had a problem with the pasuk, Hi asfu lachem, gather, ve'agida lachem, et asher yikre itchem ba'acharit hayamim. And whatever is going to happen to you at the end of this, gather, come people, gather, whenever you roam, Bob Dylan. Of course, the times there are changing. I guess I should not go to The Voice, right? No. Anyway, maybe American has talent. He says, I always had a problem with this pasuk. It says in Yalkut Shimoni, Mauhi asfu. What does it mean, gather? He asfu le'esof is to gather. It says, Hita'aru, purify yourselves. As you would say, Vatisager Miriam ve'achar te'asef. When Miriam was put in, she was quarantined, and then she would what? Gather? No, not gather. She would become pure. Lo te'asef ela titaher. So we know, uminayin, that he'asfu, when he says to them plural, is lashon tahara. It says, it seems, why he'asfu? It seems that every Jew to himself could become naki v'tzaddik. He is tzaddik to himself. When he is alone, hakol tov v'yafeh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ay. He's humble and shmumble and the whole bubble, the whole thing. He's a pure person. But, he says, ka'asher mitasfim le'asefa, when they all gather together, miyad, immediately the Yetzer Hara goes into action. Right away there is division. Right away there is intrusion. And there's this one is pulling, this one is skimming, this one is doing that, gossip, and on and on and on. Therefore, Yaakov Avinu bless his son. He says he asfu. In other words, hita'aru. That when you going to gather together, you are going to become pure. He was concerned, Yaakov, that once he's going to die, they're going to start again fighting with each other, one scheming against the other, one brother against the other. And he says, guys, in this gathering, you should come out of this and you should come into it and you should come out of it pure. In other words, don't scheme against one another. The biggest obstacle that Jews face today and faced always is that internal brotherly rivalry. And that should stop. That should stop. Until we do that, we're going to keep on being slaves. We're going to keep on getting hit until we're going to learn the lesson. Look at all the problems the Jews had, all the punishments the Jews suffered. There is a hint for that altogether. Somebody said to me one time, he said, in Auschwitz, they did not distinguish between a Sephardi, Ashkenazi. He said, we were Jews from Saloniki, there were Jews from Holland, there were Jews from France, there were Jews from Poland. It did not distinguish between Shomer Shabbat and not Shomer Shabbat. It did not distinguish between men and women. It did not distinguish between any of us. We all went up through the chimney and we all turned into one big pile of dust. There's a horrible sight, I think it's in Treblinka, if I'm not mistaken. There's a little mound of Jewish ashes. They collected all the ashes from the crematorium. You cannot distinguish between one another. It's all Jewish ash. The purification of Am Yisrael comes, starts, and ends with one thing: internal unity. If not, Chaz v'Shalom, we like a cancer into each other. That's why we should all strive to achieve harmony and unity. And that is the purification. And then I will pour on you holy water to purify you. That purification is unity. So Rabotai, each and every one of us should become a segment of unity, a core of condensation, where we bring people about together, and together with that we will be able to celebrate, and together we yell Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom.